Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Willard, and this is my personal best leadership project. The project I chose to do is my role as a stepfather. I don't really have a lot to do with the community at this point, and after discussing some things with Miss Davis, we figured this would probably be a good one for me. I was recently married in August to a longtime girlfriend of mine, and she has 3 kids from her previous marriage, and I have 2 daughters from my previous marriage. And so, as one can imagine, my leadership role was going to take a dramatic turn from just my daughters to 3 stepchildren. And so, I knew I needed to put a lot of time and energy into becoming a leader for our family, and someone that my stepkids can look up to and see that I'm modeling the way on how I do things. As with my kids, I have specific goals in mind for them, and I want to set those goals for my stepkids as well. Although it's going to be an ongoing issue, because they're not used to my way of things, and they're not used to having a stepdad around that kind of encourages them and pushes them to do better. So this has been a challenge for me so far, but it's getting better, and I believe it'll continue to get better. At this point, I've built a really good relationship with them. I've known them for a while, but obviously, now that we're married and living together, and they're starting to see my rules and how I do things are quite different than what they're used to. Not just with their mom, but with their own dad, and so it's not to say it hasn't been hard, but it hasn't been all that easy either. But at this point in my project, as it comes to an end, I can definitely say that I've moved quite a bit farther than I thought I would, just after reading our book and kind of practicing some of the 5 ways of leadership that we've all learned throughout the course. I think one of the ways that I've really done well in my leadership is enabling others to act. At first, with any, blended family, it takes a little bit for the kids to warm up to the new parent, and through that process, I've been able to kind of demonstrate and foster a way for them to follow the rules that their mom and I have set up. And, the really good thing that their mom and I have in common is that we do have the same beliefs and ways of parenting for the most part. And so my ways with them are not extremely different than what they're used to, but it's just a different way. I think from what I've been told, I come across more of a loving person, compared to what they're used to in a stepfather. So that's nice. But I think by doing that, it's helping them, trust in the process, so to speak, and do what's asked of them, and know that I'm doing it not to be mean or a jerk, but to really kind of build a unity with our family, as we continue to move forward with our lives. I also think one of the best things that I did up front so far in this project was set the ground rules up front. They knew what was expected. I sat down with all of them. Their mom and I did together, and they just, we told them what was expected of them and my own kids, and so there was no real question on what type of person I was, or how my rules were coming across. and I think also showing that their mom and I were unified in that has really helped kind of ease into a transition of a blended family. So I think that was probably one of the most important things as a leader, is to sit down and let them know that this is what is expected of them, and this is the ground rules that their mom and I have, and some things just aren't questionable. And while they're still kids, our kids ages range from 9 to 15. So, obviously the older kids understand it a little bit better than the younger kids, but overall, they've been very understanding and accepting of my role as their stepfather. To be honest, when I first started this project, I was a little nervous, just starting out and not really knowing what to expect out of them. Was it going to be defiance? Was it going to be the typical "you're not my dad"? But I was pleasantly surprised, actually, to see how much respect I earned from them, just by modeling the way and helping them and stepping in that role. That's something they haven't had. And so far, I'm pleasantly surprised with how everything has gone. I don't foresee major issues, although, of course, I'm sure as kids grow up and they get more teenagers in the house, of course, there's always going to be those issues. But the goal of this project was for me to just step into the role of a stepfather and work with that and see how well I did by using the skills that I've learned throughout the course. And I really think that it has gone rather well. Just reverting back to the book when I had some issues or questions on some issues that came up, and maybe looking at better ways to approach a situation, whether it was a disagreement or an argument between the kids, either her kids or my kids or whatever kids. But overall, it's the transition has gone rather well, and my project turned out better than I anticipated. I can say that. And I really think that is important because, I know that I'm not trying to step in the role of their biological father, although they're not, their father's not really a lot involved in their lives. They do see him from time to time. My main goal is just to build a relationship with them, and I think overall I've done that. I actually just had a birthday and received a really nice card from all the kids, my stepkids, my kids too, but stepkids, that just said thank you for being me and we appreciate all that you've done for us. And so, I think from the beginning of the project to where I'm at right now, I think that I've made a lot of ground, and I'm very happy with that because, for all of you that have been into a blended family or remarried and each of you have kids, it's not always the easiest thing to do, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to go, but like I've said, all the way up until time of this video, things have gone rather well, and this project was fun for me. It just kind of let me focus on things and trust the process, like I've said, and use the book and really just see how well I did when I know I have an outline of what I'm trying to do, and also, of course, not using the outline, but just being a parent that I know how to be for my own daughters. And I think on the other end of it too, my wife has been an outstanding and wonderful stepmother to my daughters, and we're just so blessed to have her too. And so I think on both sides of it, our family is doing rather well. It's going smoothly, and I'm just blessed that I have such a wonderful wife and wonderful kids, and I'm going to continue doing my best as a stepfather. And I know the project's over, but doesn't mean my my role as a stepfather is over. It just means that the time for this class is over. So I will definitely be using this book and the outline that I prepared for this project. It's kind of a guideline to just continue to move forward with a leadership role, and admitting when I'm wrong, and when they're wrong, pointing out those issues and correcting those, and so this just doesn't end here. It's definitely a lifelong learning process throughout my wife and I's marriage. So I'm not going to take any more time, but I just want to say thank you for watching this, and this has been a very fun project for me, and very enlightening, and it really helped me sit down and focus on things as a new stepfather to 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy what my project was all about. Thank you for watching.